Standing in the heart of Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell is more than just a relic of the past. It is a symbol of freedom, justice, and independence. But what if I told you that this mighty bell, which once rang for liberty, carries within it a deep mystery? A crack that has echoed for over 250 years, yet its origins remain unclear. Is this crack a symbol of failure? Or does it represent something much more profound? Join us as we unravel the untold story behind the Liberty Bell's crack, the hidden truths it holds, and the powerful message it continues to send us today. Welcome to TripSense Studio. If you're a history lover or simply curious about the stories behind the world's most famous landmarks, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell pun intended, and let's dive deep into the mystery of the Liberty Bell. To understand the full impact of the Liberty Bell's crack, we need to journey back in time over 250 years ago to 1752. Philadelphia was not yet the capital of a fledgling nation, but it was quickly becoming the epicenter of colonial unrest. With the 13 colonies still firmly under British control, the desire for independence was beginning to ferment. The Pennsylvania Provincial Assembly ordered a bell to be cast and placed in the State House to signal the meetings of the legislature. It was a bold, hopeful choice. This bell would ring for liberty, for justice, for the future. The bell was ordered from the Whitechapel Bell Foundry in London, an esteemed foundry known for making bells of extraordinary quality. Cast from a mixture of copper, tin, and other metals, the Liberty Bell was meant to weigh over 2,000 pounds and stand nearly 4 feet tall. Upon arrival in Philadelphia, it quickly became the center of attention. However, this iconic bell wasn't meant to just stand in silence. It was intended to ring out during the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776. But this monumental event didn't happen. The bell cracked before it had even had a chance to fulfill its historic purpose. So, what caused that crack? Was it a defect, a flaw in the materials, or perhaps something else? The truth behind the crack is a story of mystery and intrigue that continues to captivate us. Let's take a closer look at the crack itself. We know that it appeared in 1753, only a year after the bell was installed in the Pennsylvania State House. But this crack didn't happen in an instant. It began as a small fracture, unnoticed at first, but it soon began to grow, deepening over time. By the time the American Revolution began in earnest, the bell's crack had become too large for it to ring without risk of further damage. Could it be that the bell's repeated use was the cause of its fracture? Some historians suggest that the bell was struck too forcefully, repeatedly ringing out in moments of public celebration and fervor like the ringing that would have heralded the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Others argue that the metal mixture used in the bell's casting was simply too brittle, unable to withstand the stress of ringing. Perhaps most importantly, the bell's use was not only for announcements, but was also a symbol of defiance against British rule. Could it be that the early colonists who used the bell were not just ringing it for practical purposes, but as an act of resistance? An act that, like the crack itself, would grow deeper and harder to ignore as time passed? So, what caused the crack? Was it a single moment of extreme force, or was it the bell's ongoing use in moments of revolution and celebration? The truth may never be known, but one thing is clear: the crack became a part of the bell's identity, and it began to symbolize the growing pains of a nation in its struggle for independence. Now, let's talk about the crack itself and what it represents. The Liberty Bell is often seen as a perfect symbol of freedom and justice. But if you look closer, the crack reveals something different. It's a symbol of imperfection, a reminder that the pursuit of liberty is rarely perfect. And isn't that what freedom is about? It's messy, imperfect, and often painful. The crack tells us that freedom is not a flawless goal. Just as the bell was made with the best intentions, it still developed a flaw. The crack is a symbol of the struggles that every nation faces, and it perfectly reflects the messy, often chaotic journey to true liberty. Even the greatest ideals, the ideals of freedom and justice, can have imperfections. It is these imperfections, these struggles, that make the pursuit of liberty so relatable. The crack on the bell connects the struggles of the past to the struggles of today. Freedom is not something that comes easily, nor is it something that is ever fully achieved. It's an ongoing journey, and that crack is a symbol of the fight that continues every day. Throughout American history, the bell has come to symbolize not just independence from Britain, but the fight for a more inclusive freedom, one that is still unfolding today. It rings for those who fight for civil rights, for gender equality, for the rights of immigrants, for the disenfranchised. Imagine if the bell had never cracked. Would we still see it as a symbol of resilience? Perhaps a perfect bell would have lost its power. It's the crack that makes it real, that makes it resonate with every generation, and with every person who has ever fought for the ideals it represents. Let's take a moment to understand just how significant the Liberty Bell has been in American history. The crack that divided it from its original purpose did not stop it from becoming one of the most important symbols of American freedom. In fact, the bell's silence became more powerful than any ringing sound could ever be. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, the bell became synonymous with the fight for equality. During the Civil War, it symbolized the emancipation of enslaved people, and it rang out for the end of slavery. Its message was clear: freedom must be for all. Yet, even after the war ended and slavery was abolished, the fight for freedom didn't stop. The bell rang out during the suffrage movement, calling for women's rights to vote. It echoed during the civil rights movement in the 1960s, calling for the end of segregation and the equality of all Americans. In 1976, as the United States celebrated its bicentennial, the Liberty Bell once again rang for all Americans. It was a reminder that the fight for liberty was ongoing and that freedom must be constantly defended. Even in the face of challenges like the deep crack that runs through it, the bell still stands strong. The Liberty Bell's cultural impact extends far beyond American borders. While it remains a central symbol of American freedom, it also serves as a powerful emblem for liberty movements worldwide. From the abolition of slavery to women's rights, to the global push for democratic reforms, the crack in the bell serves as a reminder that true freedom requires struggle, and the road to justice is long and often filled with obstacles. Across continents, people have looked to the Liberty Bell as a guiding beacon. It stands as proof that despite the imperfections of liberty, the fight for justice and equality must continue relentlessly, boldly, and without fear. Even today, as the bell rests in its museum, it still rings out with every movement for justice, equality, and human rights. It is a symbol that has touched hearts and inspired action, transcending borders, races, and generations. So, the crack on the bell, rather than a flaw, becomes the ultimate symbol of perseverance, a powerful reminder that the fight for freedom is continuous, messy, and beautiful in its imperfection. The Liberty Bell's influence has reached far beyond the history books and into popular culture. It's become a central symbol in movies, literature, and even the music of the 20th and 21st centuries. The crack itself has been featured in numerous films, symbolizing everything from the breakdown of social systems to the personal struggles of individuals fighting for justice. From the 1984 movie, The Philadelphia Experiment, which takes place in a world where history has changed, to National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets, where the Liberty Bell is seen as a part of America's hidden history. The bell has maintained its status as a cultural icon. In music, the bell's toll has been used as a metaphor for freedom and revolution. One of the most famous songs, America the Beautiful, references the sound of bells, and specifically, the Liberty Bell's iconic ring. Countless songs have invoked the sound of the bell, its resonance symbolizing everything from personal freedom to political rebellion. The bell is also prominently featured in modern-day activism. During protests for social justice, you will often see imagery of the bell, evoking the struggle for civil rights, women's rights, and global freedom movements. The symbolism of that crack, though centuries old, continues to fuel today's fights for equality and justice. So, what does the crack really mean? Is it a symbol of a nation's imperfection, or is it a reminder that the fight for liberty is never over? Could it be that the crack symbolizes a deeper, more existential truth about freedom itself? Could freedom, like the bell, be something that must be fought for every day, with all its flaws and imperfections? What do you think the crack represents? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss. Enjoying the deep dive into American history? Be sure to like this video, share it with friends who appreciate a good history lesson, and subscribe to Trip Sense Studio for more incredible travel guides and shocking landmark facts. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a new adventure.